Besties. We're
What
back.
up, everybody?
We're so happy to see you, besties. Welcome to the debut of Tuesday Night Besties.
That's right.
Yay!
We're back at it.
Who are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been about a month since we've talked to each other, seen each other.
Oh, I know.
Too long.
It's too long. We just need to get caught up on everything exciting that's going on, especially on tonight's NXT. It was a good time had by all. Potentially not all. I don't think Trick had a good night, to be fair.
Yeah.
So speaking of Monday night, I actually went to Raw last night and I have almost no voice. So that's why I sound so haggard. I'm sorry. I was going bananas. I like to believe that I helped get that New Day sucks chant going, and I hope that lasts forever because they made me mad when they talked poorly to Big E. But that is not what we're here for. I'm not going to move because I did actually change this room a little bit. So now it's like I don't have a good spot. So I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay in one spot so I don't disappear. We are so excited to hear from you. Oh my gosh, MDB. You
what
found
up,
us. Here we are.
Yeah, we Tuesday nights now, bud. We Tuesday nights now. So
Tuesday nights. It's very exciting that people would follow us or find, you know what I mean? Like it's so like the fact that I'm sure you watched before on Tuesday MTV, but the fact that you would watch us again is very heartwarming. It's awesome. Very exciting.
Absolutely.
I kind of did only because I was excited to see Drew. So it's like one of those things that when you're there, you pop for stuff that you maybe don't like emotionally want to be popping for. So it was like I saw that big old man and I was like, who's this man? And then as soon as then oh man. So then I just got very excited to see Drew. So that was 1%. I mean, you can still bring it up. I think you gotta come up with a reason. You gotta be slick. You gotta have like a way to tie him in. So if you can tie it into NXT, you can definitely say anything. Well, I mean, be nice. Don't be horrible, but you know what I'm saying. So NXT tonight was a great deal of fun.
And by the way, you guys, we are leading way, so we'll be off here by 11. So we're gonna have a shortened show tonight. There's a big interview coming up at 11 on this channel, so definitely be sure to stay tuned. So we'll be moving a little bit quickly tonight. We'll run through quick and probably make some quick predictions for Deadline on Saturday. So it'll be a quick show. It'll be a quick show tonight.
Yep, we're making it happen. That's okay. Right. The last chance. I want to always say last chance kitchen. The last chance Iron Survivor matches both happened tonight. We saw which lady advanced? Ren Sinclair.
Yeah, no quarter catch crew came out tonight as like the big winner. So Ren Sinclair won the women's Iron Survivor Challenge. So she gets the last spot, which I did not predict her to win that match. So that's awesome. Awesome for her. She gets in, and then later on in the night, the men ended up having a good night. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Ren Sinclair started the night with the big victory in the women's Iron Survivor last qualifying match, last chance. And won because Lola Vice interferes, right?
Yes.
We know Lola Vice and Jada Parker been going at it for quite some time.
They have.
I'm ready for that. So we officially.
Oh, that's very exciting. I was kind of hoping that she would get her wish tonight. Jada Parker was like, take these ring ropes down. We're doing it now.
We're doing it right now.
I also appreciated that she dropped both a shit and a bitch. Ooh, I was like, yes, girl. I don't know. I loved it. I do secretly hope that they end up on screen becoming friends, because I do think in my experience of being a real life like Lola Vice who ate two other Lola Vices who rolls with the Jada Parker, right? Like it doesn't matter the size layout. It just matters that there's always a loudmouth Latina who's going to start a fight with her black, beautiful best friend, and they are going to have problems. And the one who has to fight is probably the taller one with the longer arms, and the one with the chihuahua mouth is going to be the second one. So I do think that Lola Vice lays hands. So it's not as though she cannot fight. But I do think that we haven't really seen her. Have we seen her get her lick back for that brick?
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like there's
I
still.
feel like we've seen her. There's still a little bit finished business, though. I mean, she really got her with the brick, and
she really got her with the brick.
I think it's time. I think Saturday we will figure out who comes out on top. It's Lola's home field advantage, I guess, and NXT Underground. So it'll be basically UFC rules, MMA style. So Lola Vice obviously thrives in that because she beat Shayna Baszler. So she thrives in that environment. So we will see how that fares for Jada Parker on Saturday. So that match was made official tonight to begin NXT.
Yep. That one was official. The next one that ended up, well, maybe not, maybe it was next chronologically, but we figured out who won the tag team over the top battle royal. I always like a good battle royal. Oh, I had my heart set on Hank and Tank. I truly did. But as mentioned, Miles Bourne picked up the win at the end, which I actually really like. So the last three were Lucian Price. Probably said his name wrong. I don't care. I'm trying to go fast. Lucian Price, Miles Bourne, and Tank. Yep. And then both Gallus. So it was actually quite nice that they ended up going like, I think it was Tank got Joe Coffey out. I get the coffees confused. We'll get it straight. This is week.
It was Mark Coffey.
It was Mark. Okay, yeah. Oh, Joe. Yeah, he was there. He was just creeping around on the outside.
Yeah.
So he got knocked over. Wolfgang went first. Yep. It was Price that got him out. So then it ended up being just Miles Bourne, who flipped Tank over, and kind of at the same time they had Lucian Price was up on a turnbuckle, sort of like precariously there, but he had gone over the top rope, so it was like he couldn't fall off. But it was so good that they had to show it in slow motion, I think, for us to actually understand what we just saw. Because I will tell you, without the slow motion, I didn't understand what had happened. It was just such a quick set of moves. Miles Bourne just dumped it's Tank. He dumped Tank out, drop kicked Price off the top, and then won. And really the replay, I feel like, was where we figured out what just happened. He was so fast. Miles Bourne is so good.
Yes. That's why I was so excited for this battle royal. First of all, I was really glad it wasn't Gallus that won. Like, look, they've already had a couple reigns. Like, look, I'm over Gallus. Like, let's move on a little bit. I was hoping for either Hank and Tank or No Quarter Catch Crew. Those were the two teams. Or OTM. OTM, like, you know, they're big, intimidating guys, but I don't remember them winning a match other than their debut. So, like, I was hoping that they could have got a big victory, but I'm really glad No Quarter Catch Crew. They're really pushing them right now. Yeah. So, like, we started with the show tonight saying they had a big night. They pretty much stole the night. Ren Sinclair qualifies for the Women's Iron Survivor, and they are now the number one contenders for Fraxium in the NXT Tag Team Championships.
What was sort of fun too is that they showed Fraxium backstage, and they were having a little bit of a kerfluffle before that match started. But then presumably, I like production details like this. Like, these are the little things that I really enjoy. Presumably, they just were throwing back to the champs to see what they were, watching them watch the match, and they were not watching the match. They were arguing with each other. They were just still, and it was very interesting because I don't see them winning. I mean, we'll get in predictions in a minute, like we'll speed round, but I don't see them winning. So I do think it's interesting. Will they move forward and have like a singles feud with each other for like an extended period of time? Is that like a quick one? Like, what are we looking at as far as how that goes down or how that kind of breakup shakes out? Will be very interesting, in my opinion. So that's exciting. We'll find out what happens with them on Saturday at Deadline. The men's Iron Survivor, the final entrant is like the one who won is Eddie Thorpe, which I thought was actually.
So I wasn't surprised by that at all. To me, it was for sure. It was for sure going to be him or Lexus King. I was pretty set on it being one of those two, and I wasn't surprised. But I was surprised the way NXT ended. Yes. So did you catch that? So NXT ends tonight with Thorpe knocked out backstage, like in the back, like by the showers or something. Like, I don't even know where he was at. It was like a shower area or something. Knocked out completely, like knocked out cold. So I can only help but assume dude ain't gonna be ready for Saturday. So I'm already placing the blame. It was Lexus King. He was the first one there. First one there, conveniently right there when he was knocked out. First one.
Yeah.
Just happened to be the one that got pinned in the match. So, Lexis King looking a little guilty there.
That is.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
That's
MDB has a theory.
That would be great. That'd be good. I mean, he should have been in it to begin with. Like, the only reason he wouldn't be in it is if they're either saving him for the Royal Rumble or they're calling him up, or both.
I also think perhaps this is a rumor going around.
Ooh.
And I was like, whoa, what? And that one I did think, because you have it pretty much already. Either he or, I don't know exactly where we're at on contract status, but I think either, is Lance Anoa'i signed? Do we know that? Yes. But is injured or not injured? I don't know. I feel like I think he might not be currently wrestling, but I don't know that. So I don't want to be like misinformation in the streets. Right. But signed, we do know. So I thought that
it's signed, ready to roll.
Lance, or I'm not going to try. I'll practice in the privacy of my own home before you hear me say Hikulelu on TV. Oh no. I did it. I'm sorry. Okay, let me tell you. Half of the reason why my throat is messed up is by the end of the night, the dark match was Solo and Cody. Bro, the number of times I yelled, "I love you, Solo," was just like so many. It was stupid many. So I was just like having a very good time. But then also I would be feeling apologetic about it because, like, hello, known Cody stan. Hello, look around me. So it was good. I love you, Solo.
I was gonna say you're a Cody fan. You can't do that.
I know.
You got two sides.
I was on everybody's team. Let me tell you, I was all over the place. I was cheering and booing every single person. We
definitely. So I like to keep the same flow that we did on Monday nights too, where we can do our best of the best and worst of the worst. So what was your best of the best tonight?
Oh, my best of the best was Tatum Paxley calling Sean Spears creepy and then being like, "And me coming from me." You know, I feel like I don't understand what that faction's about. It's fine. I'm not mad at it. Harry Brooks Jensen is all right. Like, I don't know. He looks like he works at a Jiffy Lube. He wants to have 2 babies with me and then abandon me. So Brooks Jensen is fine. I'm fine with him. Then Sean Spears looks like a creepo cult leader, like a weird situation, which, like, oh man, I don't want to say what I was just about to say. It's like if Cody had a creepy cousin. Like, you can imagine there's like some universe in which there's like a creepy version, and I feel like Sean Spears is that creepy version. So that's cool. And then they're there with the new guy Nico that they've been building up. That is their new henchman man. And then it seems as though Sean Spears is trying to recruit Gigi Dolan.
I've seen that.
That was odd. And so they walked by. Gigi walks by and he's like, "Oh, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing your return match." Blah, blah, blah. And then Tatum and Gigi keep walking. And then, Tatum says, "He's creepy." And Gigi's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "And coming from me." It was just like, it was like, that's, I think, where NXT shines. That's where NXT does something that is really, it pays off when you're watching closely or even not so closely. But something like that where, if you didn't catch it, it wouldn't have ruined your understanding of the entire storyline. But that if you do catch it, it's like, that's fucking funny. So I do appreciate that NXT throws in a lot of kind of like cute nods to the people who watch pretty faithfully, and that's always a fun thing. So that's my best of the best. Do your best of the best, and I'll think about what my least best is.
Okay. I mean, I will say I didn't. So I had a couple of things that I wasn't, that I had to pick from for the best of the best, because there was a lot to pick from. I thought this was a really good go home show. Usually, the shows right leading up to a pay-per-view can be kind of boring. It's like, all right, I get it. We're just leading up. Yeah. I understand what you're trying to do. But like tonight, a lot happened. So like, I would say my best of the best was the ending. I thought that was a perfect ending. You end with what we thought was going to be the ending with the women previewing, which is stacked. My God, like that has to be the best lineup in a women's Iron Survivor match ever. Like, I don't know how we're going to top it, honestly. Like, Zarya, Stephanie Vacher, Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just stacked, like, all the way across the board. So I thought we were ending with that. You know, them in the ring, Roxanne's in the ring, bragging about, you know, Julia was supposed to be the chosen one, and she was supposed to beat me, right? What happened to that? I'm the best champion of all time, 2-time NXT Women's Champion, yada, yada, yada. All the women start coming out and brawling, getting us ready for the match, which we already know is going to be fire. We already know it's going to be a
so good.
It's probably going to be match of the night. I'm just going to call it now.
Yeah.
It's so good. But, like, again, Shawn Michaels and cooking with the women's division, like, it's just perfect. But we thought we were ending with that, and I loved how it didn't end with that, because that's a predictable way to end, right?
Yeah.
Because they hadn't done anything with that yet, so I get it. Predictable. But it cuts real quick. There was like 30 seconds left in the show. It cuts backstage to a laid out Eddie Thorpe, who just qualified for the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge, which is in a few days. And it was the last chance qualifier, and now he's laid out. Looks like he ain't able to do nothing. So that leaves the question, who's going to take his spot? What's going to happen? Great way to end the show. What more could you ask for? That is the perfect way to end a go-home show to a pay-per-view. That was my best of the best, for sure.
I feel like there is something that is perhaps nostalgic for me about the way that Shawn Michaels books, because I feel like that's how I remember shows when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Is that you had something that was a hook at the end of the go home show that you were like, because back in the day, you had to stress your mom and dad to get like $50 to figure out what was going to happen with Stone Cold and Vince. You had to really have some compelling arguments to get them to open up that wallet and call that little, what was it? It was not Xfinity. Oh my God. Like Comcast. It was before that. Before that. Viacom. You had to call Viacom and ask for your pay-per-view on the phone, and they knew it was a kid's voice, so they'd be like, "Kid, your mom on the phone. We don't believe you, WWF fans. We've been burned before." So, at any rate, Shawn Michaels, I do think, always gives. There's a couple different things that you're kind of like, oh, so I don't know. The piece that goes along with the Eddie Thorpe is that I'm not sure if the person that walked in to Stevie Turner and Robert Stone is the same person who attacked Eddie Thorpe, or seeing that kind of almost. I vowed to not on this show share the things that I like, because what's hard is when you only talk to other people who do this as a job and watch it super duper closely and know like the contracts and the da-da-da, then they have put pieces together that you wouldn't normally put together.
Right.
And the idea that there's like a new incoming NXT bloodline where you could have conceivably had, because Eddie Thorpe walked out. So you could conceivably have had Lance, or how do you say it?
I've heard it said a few different ways.
I know, me too. So I'm not going to do it. But let's say you one or the other interchangeably, like in the storyline, one is with Robert Stone and Stevie Turner. That's the only other authority figures that are supposedly there at this time. And the other one attacks Eddie, and then they just walk away. Like that's very compelling. So okay, Hikaleo.
Yeah, I've heard it said that way, but I've also heard. I think I've heard it said a different way too. But we're rolling with that one because I've heard it.
We'll go with this for that now. Let us know if Hikaleo. Oh, goddamn. Whatever, dude. I'm gonna fix it. We're gonna figure it out. We don't have time for Amanda to get her life together tonight. Okay, this is night one. Hikaleo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you believe it could be one of them? I like that.
I didn't like. I thought like, oh shit, like that's something that the person that said that to me, I was like, what do you know? Like, why are you saying that? But then when MDB also even thought that the boom. Then I was like, oh, you know what? Like when it's more than one person, my problem is that sometimes I end up fantasy booking myself into a corner where I think this is where wrestling fans go sideways, is that we mark out together. We get to the top of like marked out anxiety where you're only talking to other people who are like super fans and you're just making shit up. Yeah. And then when the thing you made up doesn't happen, you're like, oh, wow, look at this trash. But it's like, no, you just kind of worked yourself into a fan fiction frenzy. So it's okay. I didn't want to work myself into a fan fiction frenzy, but that would be so good.
That would be fire.
So good. I would really like
I'd love that, and I would love Obafemi.
I would love Obafemi. Yeah, I mean, that I would also like Lexis King because he has
like the match needs Obafemi.
The match does need somebody that everyone else is afraid of, I think.
Somebody big and powerful. I think it's missing that. So I'm hoping if it's not Obafemi, someone big and powerful.
There we go. Okay, we'll do 5 more minutes. My least best is Carmen and Ashante the Adonis.
The love story, the love connection. Not feeling it.
I don't like it. I don't like it. And I love that stuff. So I don't know why I don't like it.
So I'm not going to copy you. I'm not going to copy you because that was mine.
Was it?
I'm with you. So like I am. And the reason why I'm not feeling it is because Carmen is so much better than this. Like, yes. She is so much. And I was talking about it with our buddy Astrid on Twitter because Astrid tweeted it. And I was like, perfect. Like, it's exactly how I feel. She's just so much better than this, like, love. Like, what the hell is it? Like, love connection story. It's like, this ain't reality TV. I mean, it's television, but it's too far into the love stuff. So, like, I get it. And same thing with Nikita. Like, I loved where they were going with the heel Nikita. Like, and then they put them both in this love thing. Was like, I'm not feeling it. So that is definitely one. And then my other, I wasn't feeling Eric Bischoff tonight. I thought I was gonna enjoy that a lot more than I did.
Yeah,
I wasn't. To me, it was a big swing and a miss. I'm a big nostalgia guy. I grew up watching him as the Raw general manager, but that was a big swing and a miss for me. I wasn't like, you could have did that confrontation between Trick and Ridge without him, and it would have just been just fine.
So what's so interesting to me about that is, like, do you think Eric Bischoff is appealing to the demographic, right? Like, does CW ask to get a bump in the 18 to 35 from Eric Bischoff? Like, no, I don't think so. So it's kind of like, sometimes when these things pop up, it makes me feel like, well, what kind of vanity project was this? Or like, I don't know. There's so many politics type things that I think occasionally bleed onto the screen, and this might have been one of those things, where it's like, he has valuable things to say. I think he was able to compare. I don't know if he was supposed to be legitimizing Ridge Holland, so it was like an opportunity to have one of those podcast dudes. Ridge fought with Bully Ray, then had this line tonight about, like, you has-beens or whatever. Okay, that loose connection just didn't resonate with me, and I don't think it resonates with most casual fans. Even if you have the depth of history, you don't give a shit. It's like, oh, cool, this dude's here. Like, I don't think it landed. So yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but I'm with you on both. But we got a few minutes left before we got to jump out of here. So
predictions.
Rapid fire. So let's start off full match card. NXT Deadline on Saturday. I'm going to be bugging you all Saturday, so be ready for that, Amanda. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with that. Trick Williams versus Ridge Holland for the NXT title.
It's not what I want to happen. It's what I think will happen. Ridge.
Ooh. Ridge? Question mark. All right. I think Trick retains, but we'll see. I mean, Trick got escorted out on a stretcher, so we'll see how that match, even if it even happens. Sticking with the men though, let's do the NXT the 5-man Iron Survivor Challenge. You got Wesley, Ethan Page, Nathan Frazier, Javon Evans, and maybe Eddie Thorpe. We'll see.
Wesley.
Yeah, I got Wesley as well. I think we're in the midst of him. I felt like he was going to be the next challenger. As soon as he turned heel, I pretty much felt like he was going to be the next guy. Yeah. So yeah, I got Wesley as well. I'm going to save that one. NXT Tag Team Championships. Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom against No Quarter Catch Crew, Miles Byrne, and Tavion Heights.
No Quarter Catch Crew.
Yeah. The titles change hands.
Yeah.
I got Fraxium retaining in that one. I think they might win him eventually, but I think Fraxium will retain the titles this Saturday. I think they walk out. We got one more. Best for last. Women's Iron Survivor Challenge, Julia, Zarya, Stephanie Vacher, Soruka, and Ren Sinclair. This is the hardest one. That's why I saved it for last. I got
Stephanie Vacher.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I could see that. She definitely snuck in. I'm gonna go with the favorite. I'm gonna roll with Julia. I think she gets her rematch with Roxanne, and we may see a different result when they face each other again. But I'm gonna roll with Julia. There's a lot of talent in that match. And before we jump out of here, there's about a minute left. So everyone, if you want to send in your predictions real quick.
We got it. Ed's gonna hi Ed. Ed's here. Hi besties. Ed's gonna watch us.
What up, Ed?
MDB thinks Ren Sinclair could pull it off.
I like that.
Or Stephanie. I do also like Ren Sinclair. Fraxium.
Wesley, or to be decided. I like that.
Oh yeah, I like the to be decided.
You guys really think Ridge, huh? We'll see.
I just, before you guys started saying Wesley, then I realized that they're not gonna have two heels go against each other. Like that's not gonna make sense. Mm-hmm. But I did think that it could be a title change because a part of me feels like Trick / Obafemi. I just feel like a couple people might get a little bit of time off and then come back on main roster. And I don't think we're going to only get the one call up, but I don't know that. What do I know?
Gotcha.
I think people like Trick, people like Obafemi, don't you kind of want them almost in the mix for WrestleMania on a...
Agree. Stand and deliver. Bigger stage. Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, they'll stick around. Okay. Oh, gun show.
Oh, yeah.
You got your arms covered.
My bad.
There's no gun show.
Next week, I got you. I got you next week. We'll have a longer show. We'll be able to catch up a little bit.
We'll get after it. Thanks so much, besties. We're so happy to be back. We're so happy to see you. Check us out next week. And then also stay right here because something very exciting is about to happen. So stay right here for a very cool interview on this channel. Stay here. Don't leave. Bye.
Peace and love, everybody.